So today I'm changing the door speakers on my Mk3 MR2. I've got the following equipment: soldering iron, posi screwdriver, some trim removal tools or spudgers, whatever you want to call them, battery powered drill, and I've got a couple of these Auris adapters off a Toyota Auris that you can order on eBay. I don't think I'm going to need those. I'll explain why in a bit. And I've got this pair of JVC speakers that were recommended to me, CSJ 620X, 25 quid I think for the pair, some speaker wire, and they come with screws. So I've already disassembled the door and taken the old speaker out by unplugging the speaker wire. You can see this also splits off to the tweeter, which I'm retaining. This is just a really simple, straightforward replacement job. I'm not looking really to upgrade, but we'll see. Tried connecting these to the Auris adapters, and although the adapters technically fit, the biggest problem I've got is that there's no way to run the connections in behind without going behind the plastic sheeting. So not the same as the factory, which I'm not massively keen on. Plus the fact the screws they give you with the speakers are slightly too big, and you can see I've already cracked that by going in too hard. And they sat too proud as well, and I'd have to cut them down so they didn't push against the metalwork. So I'm going to ditch that idea and try something different. This is the old speaker that was on the car, and as you can see it's perfect as a shell to take a new speaker. It's got its fibre ring around it, the foam insulation, it's got the correct plug connector on it, correct wiring. So what I did, I literally just gutted it. I took everything out from the old speaker system and just destroyed it basically. It was broken anyway, it wasn't working. So I'm going to give this a go and see if I can put the new JVC speaker in there, fix it down, connect up the soldering and make it look factory. Notice that looking at the tweeter, it looks like the green wire's the speaker positive and the blue wire's speaker negative. So bring it back down to this adapter I'm making. Green is positive and blue is negative. So the connection nearest me is going to be the positive and that's going to be the negative. Let's just hope I can remember that. I've used the wire that came with the speakers and connected it to the speaker and to the existing frame. So I think from memory that the speaker comes in the bottom right, so that's, which is the top lug. The speaker comes in from here, so that'll make that the top lug. So I'm going to try and make the JVC logo line up with that as best I can, but obviously it's not important because you never see it. So that's about as close as I can get it, which isn't too bad. On the other side, hopefully you'll see how it's going to work. I've pulled the wire through the back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it securely to the back frame so that it can't cause any rattles. Make sure it's not tight when you do that, so it's not pulling on anything. I think this will be quite a nice little bodge. I'm using the lugs, and I'm going to go into the fibre underneath. Goes in easy with a standard screwdriver. We'll see if that secures it. I've got all 4 screws in place now, and they're biting into the fibre, so let's bottom them down and see if it works. Seems to have worked a treat. Not bad at all really. One of them broke through slightly, but it's not interfering in anything, so shouldn't be a problem. Let's give it a try. Well, so far so good. It's a lovely fit. Hoping that plastic dome doesn't interfere too much, but let's fire her up. And that's it, pretty much buttoned up. That's it, pretty much buttoned up. And as far as anyone would know, it's factory. Now, I must confess, I have a confession. As I suspected, the outer ring on the speaker inside does make this sit ever so slightly proud. So there's a tiny gap around here. The door still shuts, and if you weren't looking for it, you'd never notice it. But I will probably, at some point in the future, get back to having a look at that. I've got a trip today and I want some sound, so it was important to replace the speaker. So I will go back to that and revisit it and see if I can trim anything off to make that close. But to be honest, really, all the other buttons clipped in. In fact, all the buttons clipped in. I don't think there is one in that corner. If there is, it's only just, oh, there it goes. So pops in and then pops out. So there's obviously around this area it could do with a bit of relief on the inside or the outside. You can see the speaker flexing, but you know what, I'm not going to be bothered about it for now, but I will get to it. Right, all I've got to do now is the other side. Okay, purists, you're going to have to look away, I'm afraid, because I'm going to have to destroy this speaker. There's a million more in the world. I've got Rogue Motorsport just up the road from me. I'm sure they'd give me one if I wanted one, but I want them to match, so unfortunately I'm going to have to be a bit destructive with this one, but you know, plenty more fish in the sea. I did warn you it wasn't going to be pretty, so I've just torn the cone out, torn the coil out, and I'm going to whack that bit with a hammer and the magnet should come off the back. The haters are definitely going to hate this one.